Okay, what you have, what I have on my screen is SQL cheat sheet. SQL cheat sheet. It's like a key point. For some of us, some times ago, that when we were preparing for WAEC, must have come across what is called key points. It's like a summary of topics from each subject. Key points in mathematics, key points in English, key points in economics, Greek, physics, chemistry, government, commerce, and the rest of the subjects that we took in WAEC. So likewise, SQL cheat sheet, it's like a key point. It's the summary of all the topics that we have in SQL. So this is the SQL cheat sheet for Postgres. SQL cheat sheet for Postgres. And this we talk about, if we look at it, it has dealt with some of the things we talked about in the last class. So what I will do is immediately after this class, I will send this and some other images that will guide us in the journey, in a journey of learning SQL. So I'm going to send that. So just a moment, I want to change my, okay, now SQL commands with example. SQL commands with example. Last week we talked about this, create table. Create table. So create table creates a new table in the database. It allows you to specify the name of the table and the name of each column in the table. I showed us this syntax. Create table, the name of the table, then the column name, which is the column 1, then the data type. Column 2, the data type. Column 3, the data type. I showed us all this, how to create a table using pgadmin4, how to create a table using SQL shell. SQL shell, that's PSQL in Postgres. So all of this, I'll be sending it. Then the insert statement. I showed us how to use insert statement too. Some people had issues and they called me. And they called me and were able to resolve that. No, the space was not there, the space was there, but at the end of the day, she was able to resolve it. So this is insert statement I used to add a new row to a table. Like I explained the other time, you can have an empty database. And having an empty database is like you building a house without any room. Building a house without any room. So
come again, sir. Come again, sir. The network fronted summer.
Okay. Where should I start from?
From this insert.
Insert statement. Okay, insert statements are used to add a new row to a table.
Okay.
So, like I said the other time, it's like you creating a database, an empty database. You can have an empty database, and an empty database is like you building a house without any room. Without any room. So for you to populate data into your database, you need to create table. Table is like you having rooms in the house that you just built. You have rooms, living room, bedroom, kitchen, the bathroom, study, and depending on the kind of room you want to have in your house. Then when you have the room, you want to, for each and every room, you have different gadgets that you put in there. Your living room, what you have in your living room is different from what you have in your bedroom. It's different from what you have in the in the visitors room, in your study, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, and all of that. So for you to add data, or to populate data into your table, which resides inside your database, you need to use insert statements. So the insert statement will help you to add a new row to your table, which in which you are adding data into the table. And this is the syntax: insert into the table name. Then you create the column, you list the column out. Insert into the table name, you list the column out. At times you may not bother. For me, I don't bother to list the table, to list the column names out. I would just say insert into table values, then the value 1, value 2, depending on the number of columns you have inside your table. Okay, so I'm still going to show us all of this this evening. Then the next one is delete. We have delete statements. Like I said in the last class, everything about real life application and SQL programming or SQL statements or the database, when you're working with your database, has to do with the acronym CRUD, C-U-R-D. Create, retrieve or read, update, and delete or drop. Create, retrieve or read, update, delete or drop. So those are all the things I'll be making use of. Even for example, your phone. If you want to, I think I cited an example using your phone. You want to, you just meet a friend and you are trying to get the person's contact. That means you have to create a new contact on your phone. If you are meeting the person for the first time, you want to collect the person's phone number. You create the stuff, the person's name, the person's email address, the person's phone number, where the person works, the name of his workplace, his workplace. You create all of that. Then you save it. That's create. Then create and insert. You create the contact, then you inserted the person's details. Then what happens if the person say, oh, my friend, please, the number I gave you the other time, I'm no more using it. I'm using another one. So you can delete that and create another one, or you can update it. You can update it and say, okay, the person is no more using it, but the person still retains his or her name. Then you just edit it. That means you update it. Okay? Or if there's someone, maybe you are like, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with this person again. I don't like his attitude, I believe there and all of that. Then you can decide to delete the person's contact from your phone. And that's where the delete statements come in handy. So delete statements are used to remove rows from a table. Delete statements are used to remove rows from the table, while insert statements are used to do what? To add rows, to add new row to a table. Insert statements are used to add new row to a table. Delete statements are used to remove rows from a table. And now, whenever you are using the delete statement, you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful. Delete from the name of the table. Then you should always remember to include your where clause. Take note of this. Delete from table. And never forget to include your where clause. Where clause. That means you are trying to state the position, or you are trying to direct the statement to a particular thing. in your database or in your table, probably in your table. You are trying to delete something from your table, and you forgetting to include the where clause. We have a lot of impact on the data you have in your table. So when you say delete from table name and you forget to state the where clause, the implication of that is it's going to wipe off all the data you have in your database. It's going to wipe all of them off. So if you have 1 million records in your table, it's going to wipe it off. But the moment you include the where clause, the guy will just go straight to the address that you mentioned. Let's say, for instance, you say delete from phone record where the ID equals to 5. Or if it's just the name, maybe it's just one name that you have in your table. You now want to use the name column. So you can now say delete from table name where the first name equals, maybe you say where the first name equals to Samson, or where the first name equals to Abu. So everyone that is bearing Abu as the first name is going to delete their record from your phone record. But it's always good to use the ID, because you cannot have two people sharing one ID. So you can now say delete from phone record where ID equals 1. Where ID equals 1. So it's going to delete just straight to the address and delete that record. But if you forget to include the where clause, the issue is it's going to wipe off all the record from your table. So now the next one is between. The between operator is used to filter results. It's used to filter the results set within a certain range. The values can be numbers, it can be text, it can be dates. So between operator is used to filter the result. Select column names or column name from table name where the column name is between a particular value, maybe per 2 values. We will see this in play by the time we practicalize this. Then the next one is having. Having was added to SQL because the where keyword could not be used with aggregate functions. The where clause could not be used with aggregate functions. I will explain this when we start to work with our the aggregate functions like count, like average, like sum. We won't be able to use where clause with that. So we won't be able to use that. So they replace that with having. Let's say, for instance, you want to select salary. Select salary column, count from the table name, group by the column name, having count greater than this. That means you want to count all of them. You want to count everything from that table using the column name, that is salary name. So count all of them from the table name where the count is greater than a particular value. Okay, so we see all this come in handy. Then group by is a clause. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That can't, the word can't, or let me
Yes,
just say the term can't. What does it mean?
It's the same, it's a function. It's the same function that we came across in Excel.
Okay, normal count. Okay.
Normal count, yes, normal count. Normal count. It's a function. The star is to count all the columns. The star, select all, select star is you're counting all everything, all the columns, all the rows inside it. So group by clause is group by is a clause in SQL that is only used with aggregate functions. It is used in collaboration with the select statement to arrange identical data into groups. For instance, the syntax is this: select column name, count all from the table name, group by column name. That is, if you are selecting gender, you have a lot of, you have ID, you have the first name, the last name, the gender, the salary, the designation, and all of that. And you want to group them. You want to group your. This is another function in SQL. It's a keyword in SQL. You can use it to filter. You can use this to filter too. You want to group them into gender. Okay, maybe, or probably you want to group them into marital status. You want to use their marital status to group them. The married, the single, and what have you. So you can use group by to group them. Then we have this function, average function. It's an aggregate function that returns the average value for a numeric column. So you can find the average value from your table, average of a particular column, provided what you have inside that column, it's a numeric value. Provided what you have inside that column, it's a numeric value. So this is count. Count is a function that takes the name of a column as an argument and counts the number of rows where the column is not null. Where the column is not null, as long as the column is not empty, we count them. Okay, we count them. Okay, maybe you should start by saying, okay, let me just go straight to my table, and we start to practicalize all these SQL examples. Okay, the pgadmin4 is up. So let me share my screen again. The pgadmin4 is up. This is my pgadmin4. Somebody was saying something the other time that the dashboard was not interactive or something.
Yes,
I can't remember. Okay, probably you didn't click it. You have to click your database first. Then you have lots of options here. You have the dashboard, you have the properties, the SQL, the statistics, the dependencies.
No, I'm talking about the Excel file that you sent to us, the CAP project that you give us.
Okay, the one you created was not interactive.
Yes, it was not interactive.
What happened? That means the what is it called? That means your slicer or something was not working or something. But don't worry, we solve that together later.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, now let me run this. This is what we did last time. Let me just, where's my query tool? And how many of us have watched the video I sent? How many of us watched that video? Nobody.
Which video is that one?
You said?
Which video? When did you send that one?
When did I send it? That means you don't check the group.
Sorry, is it the last class?
I sent a couple of videos. I sent a YouTube video, and I sent the recorded message, the recorded class to the group.
Okay.
You've not watched it. No. If you have not watched, if you have not watched it, you are missing something.
Okay.
Go and watch it.
Which one is it? The one that said the introduction to post?
Yes.
I
Earlier, I skipped it. I thought it was part of those.
The first class, exactly.
It
Yeah.
was not part of first class. It talks extensively about what we are doing, and it sheds some light.
Oh.
Okay, just go and watch it. Watch it,
Thank
and
you. You
see. Okay, good. There's other video that I'm still going to send after this. It's impactful. In fact, a lot of people have been calling me on that one self. Okay. Now I want to query this database that we created last class. I'm going to use a select query. Select all. When you see star, means you are selecting all the columns from can I remember the name of my database? Sorry, the name of the table. Yes. So let's assume that I have forgotten the way I named my table. I forgot the way I named it. So you can always use a feature embedded in Postgres. I think I don't know whether it's in other databases, but I'm conversant with this. I've used SQL Server before, but it's been a while. But this guy is very helpful. So once you write select all from, but I remember that the name of my database has to do with students. So I can't remember, sorry, the name of my table has to do with students, whatever. So I will just write STU, hold down my control key and press the space bar. The moment I do that, it's going to automatically complete the statement for me, or what I'm trying to type, as long as that thing exists in my database. As long as it exists, it's going to bring it up for me. Okay, so select all from student info, then I run it. If you want to run this, it's either you click F5. Some system may not take F5, it could be function F5 or control F5. So if you can't do that on your keyboard, see this play button, like a player icon, play. So just click this play. Once you click it, it's going to run it for you. So waiting for the query. Now, this is what we have. We only inserted 2 records or 2 data into our table. This is what we did last week. This is what we did. So, and we can always use our insert statement. Insert into the name of the table, which is student info. Okay, and I told us that I don't always list my columns. I don't always list my columns, or except on a rare occasion. So you can as well say insert into the name of your table values. The ID is 3. The first name is I'm trying to, okay, let me say Yemi. The last name is Buba. Let me just call it Buba. The next column is age, 34. The states, let's call it Ogun. Then the country, Nigeria. Now, I highlight this. Why am I highlighting it? Is because I have more than one query in this query tool. I have more than one query. So boom. So I just run it. You can see the record has increased. So we have 3 now. Now somebody once asked a question the other class, that is this how we be inserting records into the table one by one? you can actually do multiple insertion. You can actually do multiple insertion. Let's assume that I have 10 records that I want to insert into this. I can actually do 10 insert statements same time. So how do I go about that? Let me copy this. I will copy and paste. Oh, sorry. Just hold on, just a moment. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let me make it up to 10. Now we have 10. So when you are doing this, you have to terminate it one by one. You have to terminate each statement. You have to terminate each statement. Now, so let's edit this. So our statement, the insert statement is ready. Our insert statement is ready. So we want to do multiple insertion. So we have 10 rows with different data. So we want to insert all of them one after, we want to insert them once instead of us inserting it one by one. And I told us earlier that when you want to do this multiple insertion, you have to do what? You have to terminate each statement or each query using your semicolon. So the Postgres or your database will see that the query environment will see that each statement is on its own. When your query environment sees semicolon, it understands that that's the end of that statement. Understand the fact that you've gotten to the end of that statement or end of that query whenever it sees the semicolon. So you highlight all of them, then you run it. It's either you use your F5 or use the player
Hello, sir.
key.
Sorry.
I'm with you. I'm listening.
Number 13, you have that name before. Yemi Buba.
Okay, I have the name before. Yemi Buba. Where is that?
13.
Okay, I've used it before, Abi.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry. Let's leave it like that. I didn't put primary key on. Even if I put primary keys, having another ID. Don't worry. Let's just leave it. We can use the delete statement to remove it. Okay. So let me run it. Boom. You can see all of them. They all went without any issue. So we have this. This is our record. You can see. Oh, no. Yeah, this my guy. This one of the issue. Aha. This one of the issue. I don't like to. Let's see. This guy is gone. So he may ask me to. Which I don't like to play with. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. I will look at. Sorry. So I'll have to deal with this guy later. Because if I'm going to do this, I have to restart this. Just hold on, just a moment. This guy is, okay, yeah. So if I'm going to reset it, it may take time. Okay, let me just pause and try and see if I can quickly reset it. So I have to reset the query too, because it was giving us an issue. So let me query SQL again. Select all from student info. So when you do select all from student info, you run it. So this is what we have. We have how many records? We have 13 records. 13 records. Okay, this is Yemi Buba you are referring to the other time. No problem. So we will try and see how we can deal with that. So we've successfully created a database. We've successfully created.
Sir, 1 minute.
Okay.
So before you run it, you need to highlight it first.
You highlight all of them, yes.
First, okay, before, okay. All right, thank you.
Okay. Gift, which issue?
You said there's an issue, yeah, so I don't understand the issue you're talking about.
The environment gets scattered while I was trying to expand this. So if you run into similar issue, probably while you are trying to expand this, your data output or something, the environment is trying to get messy. So what you just do is you come to File and you click Reset Layout. Okay. Probably let me do it again. Let me do it again. So if I should mistakenly drag this out, and this guy too, I drag it out, you can see that the whole place is becoming messy. You can see it. So yeah. I may not be able to bring everything together the way it's supposed to be. So you just go to your file and you click on Reset Layout. And you can as well do lock layout before you open the environment. Maybe that's what I ought to have done before now, but notwithstanding, if this all stuff get messy like this, you can see it that the whole thing is messy and it's in a floating, what is it called now? All of my this stuff, they are floating. So you can go to your file and click Reset the Layout. Are you sure you want to reset the current layout? This will cause the application to reload and any unsaved data will be lost. So just click OK and you say reload. So it's going to reload the pgadmin4 for you. Then you can always go back to your database. Okay? That's the only implication. Are we good?
Okay, one more thing, Mr. Dolo.
Okay.
My server, when I click on that, my server is not showing anything. Is it because I've not done anything?
You've not done anything now. Have you created a database?
No.
You've not created anything, so it should be empty. So if you do not have money in accounts, do you want to withdraw money from the accounts? It's not possible. So the number of databases I have in my system, that's why it's showing 29. I've created 29 databases. I've deleted some. Presently I have 29 databases in my system. Okay, now we've successfully.
When you want to create the database, still the same process.
When you want to create database, you come to your database, you right-click, create database. Then you give it a name. When you give it a name, you click Save.
Okay.
So that means you've created an empty database. Okay? Okay, good. Now, we've successfully queried our database, and this is the record we have inside this database. Let's now say, for instance, we find out that like Mr. George,
yes, sir,
call our attention to something that we have Yemi Buba twice.
Yeah.
Yemi Buba twice, even though we can't call this repetition because, okay, we can call it repetition. It's the same person, Yemi Buba, 34, Ogun, Nigeria, the same thing. But the only thing that is different is the ID.
Okay.
Okay, is the ID. The first one is ID 3, the second one is ID 13. So if you now check our record and we find out that it's the same person, you get, it's the same person, that means you have to remove one. Like some of us always do at times. You save the same number twice. So and when you discover that, oh, you're having the same number twice on your phone, you want to delete one, right? So we now use delete statements. That takes us to delete statements. So you say delete from, where are you deleting from? Student info. Now, I mentioned something earlier at the beginning of today's class that when you say delete from the name of your table, you should not forget your where clause. So if I should run this statement now, the statement will run successfully. But the implication of this statement is this: all this record that we have inside this table is going to wipe them off. It's going to wipe them off. That's the implication. I hope you are getting my point. So yes, we include our where clause, where STD, that's the student ID. Student ID equals, what's the ID of that guy again? 13. Okay, so highlight it and what? Run it. And see, query returned successfully. So let's check our record again. Let's select all and check the record. Then we have how many? We have 12 rows returning. Can we see? We've successfully deleted that guy that was repeated. And we can always rule against that. Now, this same guy, let me do something. Let me use the same insert statement, insert into student info, values. Now, I want to repeat this guy, this Yemi guy, Yemi Buba 34 Ogun and Nigeria. So if I should run this guy now, it will go. If I should run this guy now, it will go because, oh, sorry, there's an error. You can see it went. And why did it go? Because I did not specify a primary key. You can see. Because I did not specify the primary key. So if I should say select first name. Okay, let me just say select first name, last name, age from student info. Now, I did not select everything this time around. I only selected 3 columns out of 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only selected 3 columns out of 6 columns. Now, look at it. You can see, look at it. So now I want to say select from student info where first name equals Yemi. I'm trying to filter now. So it's going to select the first name, the last name, the age from student info, where the first name equals Yemi. That means every record that we have in our system that the first name is Yemi, that's what is going to bring out for us. Now you can see. So I don't know why is this guy showing me this. I don't know why this guy is showing this. So I need to inquire further. I need to check. Okay, let me expand this guy. Okay, it's showing something here. Buba. Okay, I've seen Buba now. Okay, maybe it's trying to tell me that there's a repetition or something. So let me, I will drag down, no problem. Work on it. So now, this guy was allowed. He was allowed, if you look at it, it's the same ID, is the same name, the same first name, the same last name, the same age, the same, in fact, this is a pure repetition. It's a pure repetition. And why was this guy allowed? He was allowed because we did not set the primary key on our table. Okay? We did not set the primary key on our table. So even if you want to alter it now, we have...
Come again, sir. You
Hello,
said
sir.
why was something was allowed?
Okay. Why we were allowed to insert the same record, because this is a pure repetition, the same ID, the same first name, last name, age, the state, and the country. So this is a pure repetition. This was allowed because we did not specify, or we did not put primary key on our table. Okay, even if you want to try to do a kind of manipulation now, it's not going to allow us to do that. So let's see whether the guy will allow us to do that. Okay, so I'm trying to use the GUI. Okay, expand my table, student info, property. So let's see if this guy will allow us, which I know that this guy may not allow us. So let's go to the column and try and set the key. Okay, let's see. It is going to allow us. You can see, can you see? Could not create unique index student info primary key. Why is it that? It's telling us that student underscore ID equals to 3 is duplicated. Hello? So we need to deal with that first before we can adjust the table, before we can alter the table and put primary key. So it is very key. It is very important as a database administrator. When you are creating your table, you put a primary key. So one of the functions of the primary key is this. It doesn't allow duplication. It doesn't give room for any duplicates, any repetition, and it reduces redundancy. Okay, so we will deal with that first and then come back here. So what we are going to do is this. I don't think I can, how do I put it now? I don't think I can use drag and drop. We are going to use our delete statements. So we are going to delete it because all of them share the same ID. So we say delete from student info where student ID equals to 3. And the guy will take them off. Now, the two of them are gone. So let's go back and try to do the same thing we wanted to do earlier. So now what we are trying to like put a primary key on that table. You can see it will go now. You can see it's gone. Okay, it's gone now. So let's insert this guy again. Hello, I hope we are following. Hello. Are we all following? Okay, beautiful. So now I've inserted the Yemi guy. I've inserted the Yemi guy. So the Yemi guy should be somewhere around here. So let's select a statement. Okay, good. You can see the Yemi guy is here. The guy is here. Now let me try and insert.
Excuse me.
Hello.
If you check the name Buba, there is a sign there.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. So if you run this guy, look at it. You can see. Don't worry, we will work on it. We work on it. We will edit it and change the name from Buba to something else. Okay. So let's try as.
I have another question. Why is this Yemi not going back to number 3? Why is
it can't go back to number 3 because we've removed it earlier. Did you get it? But it's still bearing the same. It's still taking the ID number 3 because there's nothing like number 3. It's like when you go to an ATM and you are on number 3, you're on the queue and your position is number 3. You try to use the ATM is not dispensing. And people are complaining, people are talking, people are yelling, oh boy, please, every one of us, we have somewhere to go. And you have to step aside. You have to step aside, or you get to a place, you're number 3, and you needed to get something done quickly, and you step out. And the person that you stay behind or you come after has gone. And other people are like, we don't even know. You didn't tell us you are here or something. You have to go what? You have to go back. But your number still doesn't change. Okay? Okay, now let me try and insert this guy again. Let me try and insert the Yemi guy again. Let's assume that I've forgotten that I've inserted Yemi guy. I've populated his data into the table. So let me run it again. Can you see the error message? Error. Duplicate key value violates unique constraint. That is student info underscore P key. That's primary key. Now it's giving us the detail so that you have an idea of what the guy is talking about. It's not that the guy is just telling you that there's an error and it's not giving you the detail. So it's giving us the detail saying key std underscore id equals to 3 already exists. Already exists. So once we see that, we know that, oh, I've used the ID number 3. So let me just change the ID. Okay. So that's that. We've used delete statements. We've worked with select statements. We've worked with where clause, and we've worked with insert statements. So it remains one. Let's do updates. Let's do update statements. Now, this guy, Yemi of a thing, Yemi guy, just come back and like, oh, I'm sorry, my name is not Buba. My last name is not Buba. You are making a mistake. Oh, sorry, I think I know where that stuff is coming from. There's a space. There's a space here.
Okay.
There's a space here. So don't worry. Let's just take it like that. So I'm going to work on that now. Now, the guy is saying that I'm sorry, there's a typographical error. My last name is not Buba. My first name is Jamie, quite all right. And my last name is Charles. Or my last name is maybe Emeka, or my last name could be anything, or James, or anything. So the guy, then the next thing we say, okay, put up an application or go and swear an affidavit and all of that. And the guy had produced, or the guy has met all the necessary requirements. So what you do is, now you need to change the guy's record. Okay, you now say, update your table. Update table, which is, what's the name of your table? Student info. Update student info. Set last name, right? Equals, the guy says his last name is Charles, or maybe the guy's last name is Baba, maybe Babarinde or something, or let's call it Baba, and we typed in Buba, right? And the guy said, no, my name is not Buba, my name is Baba, Yemi Baba, that's my name. So we now write update statement and say, update the table name, set the last name equals to Baba, where the ID equals to 3. Yemi's ID is 3. Okay, so let's run this guy. Now it's saying what? ID 3. Oh, sorry, it's not ID, it's STD underscore ID. Sorry, it's STD underscore ID. Boom, it's gone. So let's check again. You can see Yemi Baba. The last name has been updated. Okay, any question? Hello. Now we've been able to do this acronym, CRUD, which is create, read, or retrieve. Then the U is update, while the D is delete or drop. Now, the difference between delete and drop is this. Delete, we only wipe off the record. Delete, we wipe off the record, while the drop will wipe off both the record and the table. This is the layman language the layman explanation I always give it. Delete, we delete the contents, while the drop will delete both the contents and the container. Let me take it again. Delete statements will delete just the record, while drop will delete the record, will delete the contents, which is the record, and the container, which is the table. Hello? Did you get my explanation?
Please take it again.
I hope somebody else won't say I should take it again.
Yes, take it again, sir.
Did we all get it, or I should take it again?
Take it again.
I understand you. I want somebody else also to talk, so that when I take it again, somebody else won't still ask me to take it again. Okay. Now, we've successfully run through the acronym CRUD, or CRUD as the case may be. The C means create. The R means read or retrieve. That is using your select statement to retrieve or to read your data. Then update is to update record. The one we use for from Buba to Baba, we update the guy's record.
Okay.
Then delete. The delete statement, we delete the record. We delete the content in the table. When you use your delete statement and you carefully include your where clause,
Yes.
then it's going to delete the record. Or even, let's say, for instance, you forget to include the where clause, it's going to wipe off all the content, all the record inside your table. Okay? Let's assume that you mistakenly forget to include where clause. It wipes off the old record in the table. You can still make use of that table. The table is the container. But in a situation whereby you use the drop will not only wipe off the record, it's going to wipe off the record and the container, which is the table. Or you use it on a database, it's going to wipe it off. So the implication of that is this: you have to create another table. If you want to make use of the same table, you have to create another table. If you want to make use of the database, you have to create another database. But delete, you only delete the record. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Beautiful. Any other question?
Yeah, you said something about this. Acronym is a CRUD.
Yeah, CRUD. CURD.
Okay.
Which is this? If you watch that video, I said a lot of things about CRUD. It's the same thing. I think I can't remember what I did in that video, but it has to do with CRUD. CRUD. It's going to buttress everything we are doing here. Okay, so the next thing I want us to, it's 10 o'clock. Okay, the next thing I want us to do is this. I want us to look at the count and the average. The count and the average. Then we call it a day. Okay? Now, let's say select first name, last name. Guy giving me this. First name, last name, age. Then we want average age, average of the age. Okay, and we can give this guy as, okay, let's do the alias now. So from student info. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to do what? We are trying to get the average. We are trying to get the average of the age from student info. So run it. Okay, it's asking me to group it. First name. Okay, let me group. No, voila. I'm going to group. Asking to group by okay, group by first name. Now you'll be asking me again for that. So let me just check this. Okay, column name, group by column name. Yeah, I'm doing that. This guy is giving me. Okay, maybe I should just use just one so that we don't just stay here. Okay, must appear in the group. What's that? Okay. Okay, now look at it. So what the guy actually did for us, the guy actually, okay, because we didn't even have this stuff. I didn't mean we have okay. So then actually it didn't do any average. I didn't do any average, but it's trying to like try to divide it because there's really nothing here. So I'll get a particular one that, okay, let's do counts. This counts, I think the counts will be better on this. Okay, look at this. So it counts each one of them. Count each one of them. How many people are this? How many people are this? And all of that. Okay. Count each one of them. Or probably we should do this. Okay, let's do this. Select first name, select age, count age. From this, where I'm trying to say, trying to make that stuff where age equals 33. So let's see how many of them are 33-year-old. Okay, the first name is what? What's that? What's the error again? Column first name must appear before this in a group. Okay, group by. One issue. That's what you want. We'll give it to you. By first name. We are still going to ask for the age. So it's just one person that is 33-year-old. It's just Aregbe alone that is 33-year-old. So let's check how many of them are 43-year-old. It's just one person too. Okay. Okay, let me even see. We have okay, we have two people, 23. Okay, 23. Okay, okay. Let me do 23. Let me do 23. Okay, it's picking them one by one. You can see it's picking them one by one. So let me take out this. Okay, let me take out this. Let's see what this guy will give us. You can see. Hello. Hello. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Or we are tired? Okay, so let's just call it a day here.